Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. And if you're returning, how are you today? In today's video, I would like to talk about 7 uncomfortable truths about food storage. But first, some announcements. Today, unfortunately, the kids went back home to Tennessee. Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but they'll be back for Christmas, which is nice. And then Andrew, my son, he leaves for boot camp in January. He's going into the Marines. So I'm happy about it, but then again, my mom brain is kicking in and saying, it's another 4 months that I won't be able to see him, And also, Andrew wanted to take his cat with him. So Stormy, the cross-eyed snowshoe cat that we had here that you've seen in some of the videos, and I posted some pictures of him and stuff like that. He went home with Andrew and Madison today. So we're going to miss Stormy a lot. But Andrew wanted to take his cat back with him because he said that, and Madison even said this, when Andrew leaves for boot camp, she needs someone to cuddle with. So, yeah. But anyway, let's get down to why I'm making this video. Okay, there's 7 truths, uncomfortable truths about food storage. And the first one is the taste. After, food has been stored for a little while, it's going to taste a little bit different. Say, you're so used to the freshness, if you have a garden or you're just used to going to the store all the time and buying fresh produce, okay, you're not going to have that freshness all the time unless you have a garden, okay, especially when it comes to produce or fruit, things like that. So, and you do like what I do. You dehydrate everything, you pressure can everything, or you water bath can everything, okay? You're going to not have that freshness. It's going to have a different taste. And that's going to happen after so long, okay? Now, the second one is, and this is a big one for a lot of us, is our food preps take up space. You have seen in a lot of my videos the struggle that I go through because my pantry and my kitchen is so small. So I have taken up a linen closet. I took up Andrew's bedroom. I have cases of water shoved underneath the beds and stuff like that. So, that is a huge problem in my house. And a lot of us live in apartments or condos or mobile homes and things like that. A lot of us even live in RVs. So this is a huge problem, is storage. It takes up a lot of space. So, one thing that we always say is, I need more space, I need more space. And a lot of you have even said to me, well, we live in an RV park, so I've actually gone and gotten like a storage unit, like a climate controlled storage unit. Okay, that's great. That's one way of doing it. But like me, I don't have the extra funds to get a storage unit, so I make do. Like, I took over Andrew's bedroom. When him and Madison came home for Thanksgiving, they're like, Mom, and I'm like, what? But they enjoyed their midnight snacks while they were watching TV, laying in bed. I will say that. Yeah, I got a rearrange in there. Yeah, I do. But the third thing is rotating. Now, rotating can be extremely tricky, especially when we're dealing with aluminum cans and your pantry is very small. And, when they put the expiration dates on the cans or even on boxes, sometimes the print is so small and you're, trying to, stock your pantry, but you're trying to rotate at the same time. I can't tell you how many times cans have literally fallen on me and hit me on the foot, and I'm like, ah, So or one of the cats are going by and a can has literally fallen and just missed one of the cats by like a hair, and it's like, Jesus, my God. You know? And Sean's sitting there laughing at me, and I'm like, oh, this is a joke to you. I'm a joke to you now. You know? So rotating is extremely important. So regardless of, you know, you can't just keep pushing things into your pantry. Have you ever watched what a stockman does at a grocery store? They pull everything to the front and they put all the new stuff in the back. So old to the front, new to the back. That's how you have to do it, because you got expiration dates. You know what I mean? That's how it has to happen, because you don't want to keep pushing all of your stuff in the back, because then you're pushing your old stuff in the back, and you don't want to do that, especially if you buy in bulk. Like I go to Sam's, or if you go to Costco, okay, and you buy in bulk, you don't want to push those older expiration dates in the back. You really don't. Okay, the next thing is, there's a lot more to stockpiling food than just like flour or wheat berries, rice, beans. Okay, there's a lot more to it. Or, sugar and things like that. Yes, I know these are very important things to stockpile. But after an event happens and all you have is rice, beans, flour, sugar, that's going to get old really quick. So you really want to have a variety. Okay, so one thing that I don't want you to fall into is a trap that I fell into. And that's listening to other people saying, stockpile this, stockpile this, stockpile this, stockpile this. And you're like, okay. And you stockpile that and you're like, what's next? And nobody else has an answer. So that's why I always say, like in the videos that I say how to build a pantry for $5 a week or $10 a week, look at what you already buy. And then when you go and you do your shopping, pick a few items and buy a few more extra of those, like 2 or 3 extra of those. Okay? How do I explain it? Okay, say you do want to stick to either flour or rice or dry beans or canned beans or whatever, or sugar, okay? Instead of buying 1 thing of flour, buy 2 things of flour, okay? Put them in the freezer. You got to do that. You got to put them in the freezer because of those little bugs, weevils, okay? And I even put my sugar in the freezer. A lot of people say, why do you put sugar in the freezer? Okay. Down here in Florida, you might not have this where you are, but down here in Florida, we literally, if you don't put your sugar in the freezer, you get these little tiny little black sugar ants that will literally plague your house. So I put my sugar in the freezer and I take it out, and I have this airtight container, and it's like this big, and it's a rectangle, and I keep that at my coffee station. And the only time I don't have my sugar in the freezer is when it's in that airtight container at the coffee station. So, unless you can have a very large airtight container to fit all your sugar in, living down here in the South, you want to have your sugar in the freezer. Unless you want bugs. I'm just saying. From experience, I'm just saying. But you do it the way that you do it, and I'll do it the way that I do it. Because I get questioned all the time, why do you put your sugar in the freezer? It's called these little black sugar ants that will literally, they come in through like the littlest, tiniest space in a window, like in the track of the window, and you'll see them crawling down the wall and up the wall and try to get to that sugar. So And yes, I do pay an exterminator to come out and spray my house. So that's not the problem. It's the sugar. So I keep it in the freezer. But yeah, don't fall into the trap of just stockpile this or just stockpile that. Look at your list and go by that, because you only want to store what you eat and you want to eat what you store, please. Okay? Like I've said in previous videos, if you watch one content creator on YouTube and they say, I stockpile all this whatever food, okay? It could be like spam or tuna or canned chicken or whatever. And you're like, but I'm a vegetarian. I don't want to store that. But I guess I'll store it just because they're telling me to store it. Why are you going to do that? Why are you going to do that? If you're vegetarian, why are you going to store canned chicken? Don't do that. Unless you're looking to do it as a bartering item, don't do that. So only store what you already eat and eat what you store, because it's just, otherwise you're wasting your money. I'm being honest, okay? And I am not going to tell you to do something that I don't already do myself, okay? Store what you buy and buy what you store. Okay, does that make sense? Did I say that wrong? Yeah, I said that wrong. Only store, only buy what you already eat. Ooh. Yeah, mom brain left when Andrew left this morning, Andrew and Madison. So, now the next thing is what a lot of us do, and I did this too, and I stopped doing it, is you can't just buy it and forget it. You know what I mean? Like, I have all these 5-gallon buckets full of food that I put in Mylar bags with oxygen absorber packs, and they're in 5-gallon buckets, and everything is sealed, and it's pretty, and oh my goodness, and you look at me, look at me, look at me. You have to rotate that food as well. So please keep all of this in mind. These are like, I mean, I know, this is going to be uncomfortable, and a lot of people are going to go, oh, I don't know if I can do that. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, then don't. But these are the things that I am finding, so I'm sharing it with you, okay? Now, the sixth one is something that Sean and I have talked about, and we talked about this, when we first started this, is do we need to, we already have them, but do we need weapons to protect our food? And the answer is yes. If I had blinking lights, yes. Because in an shtf situation, and gosh, I hate even talking about it, but it could very well be our reality very, very soon. And I don't even want to think about it, but it's what I do think about, and that it sucks, man. It really does. There's going to be a lot of break-ins, a lot of looting, even in suburban settings. I don't care where you live. A lot of us might even, not be targeted because we live in our bug out locations, which, hey, that's my goal. That's what Sean and I are working towards. So if you can work towards that too, awesome sauce, because that's what we're working towards. Because I don't want to live in suburbia anymore. It's getting too busy here. I mean, when I tell you busy, it is busy. And I don't like it. And, if you watched my interview with Jason, with Angry Prepper, you heard me say, I'm originally from Atlantic City. You can't get any busier than that with casinos and everything else. All right. My dad retired as the fire chief. My mom retired as a police officer. I know all about busy. I'll never go back. Sean and I went back home 2017. I was like, I want to go back. I want to go home. I was just like, I can't handle the noise. I can't handle any of it. And now, this place is getting just as bad. And I said to Sean, I said, I want out. I want out now. I said, I can't handle it. And he was just like, all right. He said, well, how far do you want to go? I said, I don't care. I don't care. I said, I don't care if you put me in a tent in the middle of the woods. I want out. I can't handle they're like ants and they're everywhere. I can't handle it. I am not a city person anymore. I'm really not. I know I'm getting off topic, but I used to love, being able to walk outside my house and walk a few blocks and you get the bright lights in the big city of the casinos and then walk a few more blocks and I'm on the beach. I used to love that. But I was a teenager. I'm going to be 45 in January. I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't want this busy. And because it's so busy here, I have more fears here. Because I've heard a few of our neighbors down the street, they were actually broken into, and you would think, were they broken into, were somebody looking for prescription drugs or money or weapons? No, you know what they broke into for? Food. Now, granted, this was a couple months ago when the pandemic, first started. Here's another one. My mom's, where she lives, they have the Humane Society. 2 morons broke into the Humane Society and stole all the dog food, all the cat food, the cat litter. I'm thinking, what are you going to do with all that? So thankfully the community came together and replenished all of that. But still, come on. Really? And it's pretty bad when different sheriff's offices have to put it out there at a certain time. Like my mom, she'll say, the sheriff's office put it out there at 9 o'clock. Make sure your doors are locked. Your cars are locked. Did you put your car alarm on? Because there's so many vehicle burglaries that, and I'll never understand this, but guns are being stolen out of cars. Why would you leave your gun in your car, first of all? But people are just, they're so desperate that they're breaking into cars, they're breaking into homes. It's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse, man. So, I'm sorry, but I'm heeding these warnings. You know what I mean? I want out. Anyway, number 7. Natural disaster. It's obvious. It's inevitable. Everyone gets plagued with these. We get hurricanes, tornadoes. You guys out in California, you get earthquakes, okay, blizzards, whatever, mudslides. I know that Nevada gets mudslides and things like that because when my husband was out there working, they said there was a mudslide, and I'm like, what the heck is a mudslide? But yeah, so this is when food shortages come into play and the influx of price increases. Right before a natural disaster is going to happen, especially hurricane season, because that stuff is predictable. So that's when the prices go up and the food shortages happen and everybody's like running around with chickens without a head going, what am I going to do next? You knew this was coming. This happens every year. Why don't you start preparing a month or two before? Just saying. Anyway. All right. That's all for this video. I love you. I do. Okay. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe, stay positive. And I appreciate you. I really do. Okay. Bye.